All right. So, if you were on it, somebody had said it was buffering really bad. So I wanted to go ahead and restart. So hopefully we're not buffering too bad. I'm actually in a room that's sort of in the back of the house. And even though there's a lot of good signal back here, um, it sometimes falters, it is what it is. Okay. But for those that you might be just climbing in here for the first time and checking in and seeing what my tarot's about, we're actually talking about shining through. This is There we go. All right. I had to go off and come back on again. I don't know if my signal died or whatever. So I'm just going to do a real quick recap in case somebody is popping in that has not seen this before. So, being an empath, I do create your future, basically help you with your authentic self, your challenges, your struggles, try to get you to be the best person that you can be. I'm Divine Warrior because Divine is the source, and this is his deck. This is a sacred deck to me. I don't use it for anything else. And you guys are the warriors. We're all warriors because we're in a spiritual battle. And I'm intuitive. So I have clairvoyance, audio, medium, whatever you want to call it. Have all kinds of abilities. So what we're doing right now is we're talking about the shining through. It's the number three. And this is Divine's message to you. Please, I just logged off and logged back on. Please go back and just sort of catch the beginning of it if you're sort of lost at this point, because I don't want to repeat everything. But it's also your energy, or the person that needs to hear this energy is the resting tree, patience, stillness, and the number four. This is the hardest thing to do, guys. This is humanly one of the hardest things to do. Um, and you'll find that if somebody is a really good listener, they're probably more of the quiet type because they take things in, they process it, and then they sort of analyze what they want to do with that information. So the people in my life that I've known that are really good listeners are actually very calm people, very quiet, whether internally they're, you know, feeling all overwhelmed and stuff, you would never know it. Unfortunately, sometimes that's not good, because you'll bottle things up and then it creates stress and high blood pressure and all that kind of stuff. So, when we want patience, not a good virtue for human beings. Even if you really have a lot of patience, you probably need a little more. But we actually are very hard to be still. I'm a Virgo and I'm an entrepreneur. I can't even sit down and watch a movie without doing something with my hands. It's crazy. You have to take me to literally a theater where I need it mandatory to just sit there, and I'll enjoy it, but I'm enjoying myself more if my hands are doing something. So really look at what you're doing right now, because the movement that we have with the knight, and we have the two of cups, or the two of cups, and then we have the six. We've got all kinds of cards going on here. However, these three right now is what I'm going to talk about, because there's a lot of the times the number six is about a person from your past. It's about somebody you might have known, or it feels comfortable, or hey, maybe we knew each other in another life, that kind of a thing. However, with this being a number six, this to me is like it's not a comfortable thing. So it's like something has created an energy not to be comfortable, or be more vulnerable or less vulnerable. So that vulnerability is like, "Ooh, I don't know about this." You got to listen to your intuition on this one. I'll tell you right now. I taught one of my coworkers yesterday. I said, actually, it was not a coworker; it was a customer. She was trying to figure out something, and I said, what does your gut say? Because if I start talking hoo hoo stuff, they're like, you know what are you, a witch? I've been asked that, trust me. But you just say, what does your gut say? What does your gut say? I'm gonna go back and get this other one. These little mystery boxes at work, you open them up and there's something in there. There's like 5 different characters on them, and you could get one of those 5 characters. She really, really wanted this one. It's like a porg or something from Star Wars. And so it had this little thing in there, and she goes, "Yeah, this one doesn't feel right." And they said, go back and sit there and analyze which one you want, get it. So she got it. She goes, "Can I open it here?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." Boom. It was the one she wanted because she went with her gut. So we really don't give our intuition enough gratitude and say thank you to it because it's there to protect us, it's there to guide us, it's there to move us in a direction that we should be going for our authentic self. It's us humans and this thing here that gets in the way. So really whatever's going on, it's causing whatever you're doing is it's causing you to have this flower. I just keep seeing it go and it's not allowing it to open completely, so whatever that is. All right, again, the end card is the death card. The death card is about a choice of which way you want to make your decisions. Okay, you have the power within you, but sometimes okay, thank you. So anxiety is holding you back. So if it's meant to be and if something's pushing you to do something. It's an energy that you can't see, but you're like, gosh, I just feel like I'm being driven to go this way. Most likely you are. And you're fighting that for whatever reason. Well, I don't have the money. I don't have the resources. I don't have this. I don't have that. You're making excuses for what's on earth, where this thing is saying, if you let me go this way, I'm going to give you all that. You just can't see it right now. It's the moon card. Okay. You just can't see it. Trust the process. All right. That's basically what your spirit is saying. Trust the process. All right. So let's see if we can get more clarity on this. I don't, somebody's probably going to be going to a wedding or is getting married here, probably in the next, I don't know, maybe 3 weeks, in June, definitely. And June is, I know the month of weddings, but this is here. This is almost like, oh, that's a stinker energy. It's like, I don't want to go. You know what? They did this to me. I don't want to go. I don't want to see them happy. You know what? It's not going to matter if you're there or not, as far as what you're thinking. This is their day, whoever this this is their day. And to be bigger, to open your flower up more, is to allow yourself to go and give yourself the forgiveness or give yourself the gratitude, give yourself whatever it is that you need to move forward in a positive energy, because whoever this is, they're in a vibration that's low, a low vibration. Because when you start saying, I don't want to do that. Mm-mm. Because we've got the queen. She's facing away the celebration, but this celebration is going to happen no matter what. And this is a beautiful thing. And I want to say this couple have known each other for years and years and years and years and years. Could be like a little high school love or something like that. All right. So we've got the Knight of Pentacles. What's going on? Are we going to be talking about career right now, or what are we talking about? All right. You can say whatever you want. That's such a low vibrational energy. And you will stay stuck. 4 of Wands again. Definitely. Somebody is moving away from this celebration. It's almost like somebody's really pessimistic about what is happening. And I have a funny feeling that something went bad between the two of you or whoever this is from money. It's like somebody loaning money and they're not getting it back, that kind of a thing. And let me tell you, money will ruin more than just anything. It really, really will. Okay. Like I tell my daughter, I said, you two have got a year together, and this is either going to make you or it's going to break you. And the two things you're going to fight about the most is money and sex. I'll guarantee it. And guess what's happening? So they're trying to figure things out. Okay. The Hermit. You're not going to be able to do it alone. Okay. This is not something you can do alone. Oh boy. Somebody's got a lot of processing to do. Holy crap. So you got the Hermit and the Knight of Swords, all these knights that keep popping up, this new energy. You've got the Fool, fresh, brand new energy, natural energy, but there's the Devil card, or there's the Death card again. I mean, you've got the Ten of Swords and the Death card clarifying something's got to give right away. Whatever it is in your life, it's got to stop. Boom. It's got to stop. So it's not doing you a service. It's not helping you in some manner. And you think that you can do it alone. Okay. So it's sort of like addiction. When somebody has an addiction, and let me tell you, those little mystery boxes, people are getting addicted to those, and that is not healthy. Not healthy. It's sort of like the claw machine, not healthy. Oh my gosh. Those are modern day gambling devices. Back in the day when I lived in Japan, pachinko was gambling. And back in the day, well, it still is, but the casinos are gambling. Now, for the younger generations, to get them hooked even as kids, it's you got these little mystery boxes, blind boxes, and you've got the claw machines. And unfortunately, one is going in next to our store, and it's huge. And oh my gosh, wow, waste of money, waste of money. You got the Hermit and number 9. Okay, so the Hermit with the number 9 is a Virgo energy, and this is one that remember we were talking about controlling earlier, and it's got to release that control, release that manipulation. Because 9 doesn't go away. It just keeps circling back, circling back, circling back. So again, what is it that needs to be released so that flower can blossom up? This is an earth person 100%. This is, basically your mindset. You start everything here. And then it's not in your and there's no peace for you right now because that's where you're at. It's like I hate to bring this up, but we have a worker that my energy cannot be around hardly at all anymore. I have to stay at least 6 feet away from this person. Being an empath, I don't want to suck in their energy because it's all about woe is me. It's a doomsday. The earth is falling apart. United States sucks. I hate everything about America. I'm standing up about politics. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. And he has no control over any of this, but it still is in the forefront of his head. And he has no peace. Why? Because there's no stillness. And it will never happen until he allows it to happen. And he's the one that has to change that. So again, if you're having that, and if it's like, oh, everything's falling apart, United States sucks, this sucks, there's other countries you can move to. But yeah. All right. So there is definitely a new energy and a lot of new energies to allow this to blossom. Okay. Let's see what's going on is there anything going on with romance with a person, with a relationship? What is it that they can shine through with a relationship? Because everybody wants to know about love, if there is. And not everybody listening to this is going to be in a relationship, but this may help you in moving towards a relationship. Or maybe there's an interest. I hear somebody's watching from afar. I hear somebody's there, but you don't realize. I see the moon card in my mind. So for somebody, they are watching. What was I watching? I was watching 90 Day Fiance. For some reason, I love that thing. I guess because as a criminal justice major, that was my things. Romance scams, finance scams, things like that. And I went to Africa and watched how they do these romance scams 100%. Okay. And it was amazing. And people think that they're always talking to one person. Oh, I'll come to your country. You come. No, if you're in the United States and you're talking to somebody on the other side, maybe that's what this is for. Like they say they're from Korea, from South America, Europe, Africa, wherever. You're not talking to one person. You're talking to a bunch of people. They're just coaching each other on what to say. And even if you are talking to one person and they're saying, well, you come to my country and then I'll come to yours. They can't come to the United States. That's why they're trying to get you to their country. Really, seriously. If you don't believe me, let's sit down and talk a while and I'll show you. I've helped people all over the United States and all over the world in their romance scams. One lady in Paris. And the thing is, once you try to block them, it's a what do you call it? It's a network of people that are in it. And so when they're in it, okay, so you'll block this person, but there's several people you've been talking to, so they'll use the other burner phone and they'll talk to you, and then it's just a circle. Why am I talking about this? But if you want to know about romance scams, just comment me, and I've dealt with it for, let's see, 2000 since 2012. All right. So unfortunately, one lady spent. She thought she was talking to a guy in Korea, and she sent him money, and then he said he was sick, and so she didn't have any more money to send him. So she sold her car for somebody she has no idea who this is. Then when she sold her car, she asked her family for money. Family said no. After a while, they're like, we're done. We've given you enough. No, you don't even know who this person is. Lost her apartment, ended up in a shelter, and dying in the shelter over somebody she did not know. And it wasn't just one person, I'll guarantee it. But would they come and talk to me? Would they come so that I could help her? No. They let their family member die in a shelter because there was fear to really find out the truth and to help her. Oh, it's just a reading. It's a general reading. And if this resonated with you, that's who it's for. If it didn't resonate with you, it's not for you. Okay. So we're going to talk a little bit about relationships. Okay. Apparently, with this relationship, so we're trying to see what this shining through energy is about, how you need to be paying attention, listening, being in the still, getting your foundation, restarting a new foundation. Somebody talks too much, because again, there's no peace in a relationship. Again, that flower is closed up. You're trying to get it to bloom open. You're holding on to something that you should have let go, which is definitely being hurt. So you're creating your own misery for whoever this is. You don't have to, because what's offering to you is peace, everything in open, everything opportunity, everything you want. However, you keep going to the past and holding on to those things and not allowing that new person to be the new person. You're judging them based on old shit that comes from other people, and this is not the same person. So you're going to struggle to get this star to turn around, to become in the upright rather than reverse. All right? So that's something that, for this love relationship, there's no stillness, there's no patience. So I don't know who this is for. It's almost like a toxic relationship, a toxic feeling, because you keep going to the past. And so, okay, thank you. So, if you are in a relationship, and I guess I'll talk to the women more or the feminine more because we do this a lot. If we get into a relationship and we start getting into a huff or into an argument, we always bring up the past, which is so detrimental to your relationship. If you have an issue in a relationship, then what you need to do is bring it up, get it out on the table, get that elephant out of the room, and let it go. Do not bring it up again. As much as you want to, do not bring it up again because you're bringing it up over and over and over. And it's like beating a dead horse. What good does it do? Okay. So it doesn't do any good to keep rehashing the past in an argument. That's your pain. That's not their pain. So the thing is, you have to release all the past pain. So I guess you would need to heal before you get into the next relationship. Because if you don't heal before going into a relationship and you both come in whole, then what happens is the cycle repeats. It's the number 9. It will repeat, 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 repeat. Okay. I don't know who that's for. But definitely in the relationships we do. And you know what? I did it for many, many years. I did it because I had nothing else to base my foundation from. The number 4, base my foundation. My foundation was so twisted from the sexual abuse for as a child that I had nothing healthy to create that from. And now I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but it took me up into probably my 50th birthday, and then I started to realize how damaging that was to me. Yeah, exactly. It's definitely talking about future, and definitely is about how you're going to maneuver, because right now somebody's got to stop something. I just heard stop the madness. Stop the madness. And I'm like, okay, I don't know who that's for, but stop the madness. And the only way this is, it's a cold turkey. You just got to stop it, cut it off. Rip that band-aid off fast. Don't rip it off slowly. All right. All right, let's go into career for a second and see what's going on there. Somebody's got a lot of anxiety over their job. Totally, totally. Somebody doesn't like their job. A lot of people, probably 80% of the people, don't like their job. I personally love both my jobs. However, I love one more than the other because that's my passion and that's what I'm supposed to be doing. And it brings other people joy. So, is your job basically helping others, or does it end with you? So that's the whole thing about a job is if it ends with you, you're never going to, well, I can't say never. You have a harder time enjoying your job because there's no reward or benefit outside yourself. So that's why people with a lot of money sometimes aren't happy, because it is not outside themselves. They're just making all this money for themselves. So I have a big house, I have a mansion, I have all these cars, I have blah, 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 blah. But what is it when somebody helps somebody else? There is an extremely high vibration, high frequency that comes with that. So you get this almost rush because it is a high vibration. It's one of the highest vibrations because love is the highest vibration. When you share and give that love through either speaking affirmations, helping them with a challenge, maybe giving them a couple dollars for food, whatever it is, there that vibration goes up hugely because you're stepping outside yourself. Selfless love is the highest vibration. Selfish love, lowest vibration. Okay. This is beautiful. I love it. Thank you for sharing that because, again, you love your job, because you're showing love to the elderly. And thank you for doing that, because not everybody can do it. And it is huge because I'm headed towards that way. But the thing is, there's not a lot of patience. And look at this for you. This definitely is patience. Okay. This is a foundation. There's a stillness and a joy. And there's also, I bet you there's a peace that comes with that when you can make an elder smile, make somebody feel better, just bring them just a little joy in their day. Definitely, especially if it's in like a nursing home. Who the hell wants to be in a nursing home? I told my daughter, "You put me in one." I said, "I will be dead in 6 months." I do not. I do not do well. I don't even do well in an apartment because of the end. I have to have. I have to have earth. I have to be in a place where I can step outside and be on the earth. Empaths need nature. Definitely beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. But yeah, it doesn't end with you. So you're an extension. Thank you. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. You are an extension, and it's an extension of love. Okay? Like I tell my daughter, if you cannot say it in love, if you cannot do it in love, if you cannot think it in love for yourself or somebody else, please don't do it, because it lowers your vibrations. All right? All right. Let's see. All right. If there's anybody who wants to come through or anything, and I'm getting ready to wrap up. So if after careers, if there's a question or anything anybody has, I'd be glad to pull a couple of cards for you. All right. Is there anything else? Oh my gosh, I'm getting really lightheaded. What's going on? Is somebody getting a lot of headaches or something? Somebody, I mean, I do get really lightheaded when I'm um, transmitting back and forth. However, this is like somebody's blood pressure really needs to be checked. Check your blood pressure. Um, it's like really lightheaded. However, that might be a blood pressure thing. So you might want to have that checked for somebody. If you're on a blood pressure medication, maybe just double check that your blood pressure is doing okay. Hello, hello, welcome. All right, let's see what's going on here. As I do this, I still get downloads for other things. Are these upside down? Yep. So we have the Seven of Cups. Again, a lot of opportunity. The Page. Oh, wow. All these reversed. Are these? Oh, nope. I take that up, down. Backwards. There we go. So we have the Seven of Cups in reverse. You're holding back opportunities. We have the Moon. Things that you cannot see, as well as the Page of Coins, Page of Pentacles. Okay. So in your career, there is something that you don't see, but you're holding yourself back. It might be fear that's holding you back. It might be an opportunity that might be being offered from you that you can't see. Again, this in your work needs to shine. So maybe there's a promotion coming for you. Maybe there is something that even maybe a pay raise. It could be something, but again, this is your time to shine, to show your skills, your abilities, and everything. Because what you see, like I said, remember earlier, I said somebody's watching. They might be watching to see if you're promotable, maybe relocate, maybe go to the next level in your job, because it has to do with a new movement in your career. You just can't see it. You just got to trust in it, and you got to really do the best and shine through with whatever it is that you do, whatever skill or experience level that you do. It doesn't matter. You could be flipping hamburgers at McDonald's, and that's perfectly fine. It's bringing your income, it's bringing your food on your table, your gas, and all that kind of stuff. But it may be something that, like, hey, they work really hard, they're good with the customers. I'm thinking making them a lead. It doesn't have to be a big jump. Or maybe they have you. Oh, okay, thank you. So maybe they have you doing a task, or maybe you're good and strong in something, and they're having you do a task. So, for example, maybe if you are in leadership or if you're in a job and you do something already, but you're really good at it, they'll say, hey, for example, maybe I'm going to let them do the schedules because they're really good at it. And then whatever, making you do the next task to bring you to the next. Because again, we're talking about the number 4 foundation. All right. Whatever that is for you. Okay. But one thing that really bothers me about this whole reading is that somebody is restricting themselves to, and they can't see it, is to opportunities that are almost being handed to them, whether it's a relationship or whether it is a job, whether it is personal development or healing. Um, it's like you're sabotaging yourself. And again, I keep hearing that word anxiety, anxiety. Anxiety is a lot, again, based on fear, a lot of not knowing how to maneuver through something and how to handle things. So, back in the day, when I grew up in my teens and 20s, hello there, my teens and 20s and 30s, we didn't have anxiety like there is today, only because our parents would push us, whether we liked it or not, to make something, do something, so that we would face our fear rather than panic and get all stricken in our fear. We would be outside playing. We didn't have, okay, that's another thing. We didn't have phones. We didn't have all this internet. And I think majority of the people that come to me that tell me about their anxiety, they are well overstimulated. Phone, doom scrolling on the computer, just whatever, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. It's too much. If somebody limits themselves to the time that they use on those, you will open up a whole new door. One time, my daughter and I think she was about 17, somewhere around there. Now she's 30. But I said, you know what? Let's put the phones away for a day. Or something happened because we were really struggling. Maybe the phones got shut off and I was trying to, tell her, hey, we can't do this, but I didn't know how to tell her. But the thing was, let's have the phones off. We had the phones off for a complete day. And the next day she says, Mom, it was so peaceful. It was so nice. I felt really relaxed. Yeah, because you're not being overstimulated. And having these things in our hands all the time is really not good for our health. With all the transmission of radio waves and things of that nature, you can call me a boomer, but really, in all reality, that's why they say don't put your phone in your bra, because there has been scientific evidence that breast cancer happens from your phone sitting in your bra, sitting it in your ass, putting it in your pocket, putting it on your waist, those kind of things. We just take everything for granted that it's all okay. It's not all okay sometimes. So be really, really mindful how you move through this next week. I know that there is a reading out there from the 17th to the 24th that actually sort of relates, because we started out with the exact same card as we started out with that. I can't make that up. But if you're moving towards a relationship and you need to nip something in the bud, just do it. Tell them Patty told me to. No, don't. I'm just giving you insight. Okay. But you just need to nip it in the bud, whatever it is, and listen to your intuition to make that decision. Because if you see, the Pope is trying to be spiritual in his thinking and moving, but the earth is overwhelming him and is stomping over him. And that's what's happening today, is we're allowing the earth and this politics and all this crap on earth to overshadow who we actually authentically are. And it is okay to walk in your own authentic self. Do you want to wear cosplay down the street all the time? Wear cosplay. If you want to be a hermit, be a hermit. If you want to I wouldn't say play games all day because it's not healthy, but you want to play games in your downtime, play games in your downtime. Whatever it is to make you relax. However, you should be moving forward in a future that should be not only benefiting you, but being the conduit of love to others in a loving way, whatever you're doing. All right. So I hope this reading was helpful. If you don't have any questions, I'll wait for a second if somebody has a question. I can't tell you what your exact next job will be because that is an energy that's going to, again, be a decision that you're going to have to make. Where did it go? But something says that you may have to quit a job to get this other job. But don't quit your job until you have that job. You don't ever want to cut your face off despite your cut your nose off despite your face. Okay. But let me go ahead and reset and I'll pull up a card or two for you. What line of work are you in, or are you still figuring things out? We're going to leave Divine's card because that is the main energy. Again, patience. That's the energy of right now. I say right now because it's not a week. It's right now. This is the energy of right now. All right. Okay. What will be her role, or what will she be doing? If you can give me some specifics, that would be great. I know, I know. They're saying that's up to you. And the reason why they say that is because it's free will. And they're not going to tell you exactly because they don't want to stop your growth, stop your hindrance of who you're supposed to be. Wow. You have the emperor, you have the high priestess. Again, this is the death card, and you have the ace of cups. So, an offering of something that you really, really want to do. That is something of your passion, apparently. It looks like maybe somebody, well, of course, that would be sort of stupid, and that's general. That somebody of a masculine is going to possibly offer this, share some insight on how to do it. But this is you in the center. You're going to have to make this based not of what you want in your head, but where your spirit is guiding you, because there is something. And it's going to bring you actually a lot more joy. It's going to bring you a lot more peace. But you're having a struggle in your head with this one. Okay. So you've got the number 4. It's trying to build you a new foundation because the emperor is number 4, the high priestess is 2 and 1. So this is building a new foundation of something new, something maybe you have not done before or thought of doing before. But if you listen to your spirit in taking this position, it's going to benefit you really, really well. Okay. I don't know what that position is, but it looks like an offering, whether it's now, in the future, or something you have been offered. Definitely. You might have to reach out to a masculine as well. Be really careful getting advice or somebody's opinion for something you want because your spirit is trying to tell you which way you should go. But a lot of the time, this gets in the way. All right. I don't know if that makes sense or if it helps. But the number 2 is about bringing things together, but it's the high priestess. So this is a spiritual. This is going to sort of release that spiritual battle when it comes to your work. Definitely. You may have missed the chance for a moment, but that's not where you're supposed to be. I am taking questions at the moment. Relationship that seems like it's come to an end, but we have two little ones. I feel completely alone and stuck. All right, let me pull. But I have faith in the coming chance. Great. Okay, so let me you're very welcome. You're very welcome. I love you guys. You're my warriors. Um let me see what I can do. The thing about this relationship that is ended, it's not ended. It's never ended. When you have children with somebody, it's never ended. There's a spiritual bond that it's a soul tie, if you want to call it that. I don't know what you really want to call it, but it's really, honestly, a physical bond and emotional bond. But physically, you are literally connected to that person. And with children, whether it's coming in or out, that it has to take work from both. But let's see what's going on. Um, but they're not out of your life. It's not ended. Okay. So they're saying on the other side, it's not over until I say it's over. So it's not ended. This is an earth ending for the moment. So there's something that you guys are missing that's causing the friction between each other. So I'm hearing communication is not, you're both not on the same page. So getting on that same page would be really, really helpful. I don't know if there was some infidelity, which is not right in a relationship, but it is repairable. But you both have to be working on it to be repairable. Sorry, I look off and I'm shuffling because I'm seeing and hearing things. Okay. All right. So let me see what else. And I'm going to have to go in a minute because I'm getting a super bad headache. And that happens when I transmit. Plus, I have to go to work here pretty soon. So we have the seven, yeah, the seven of pentacles, the ace of swords, and we have the fool. Someone wasn't appreciated and felt they were taking for granted. Okay. And it seems like it's sort of like no matter what I did, no matter what I said, it was just like it just wasn't. I didn't feel appreciated. Now, if that's you or if that's them, that's their feelings, and that is what they own. And you have to validate that, no matter what relationship you're in. If this is resonating with you, that is definitely something that you have to validate. I don't feel appreciated. Oh, what do you mean you don't feel appreciated? I do this and I'll do that. No, they don't feel appreciated. So you have to get down deep and find out, okay, what is it that you don't feel appreciated? You have to get down to the specifics, okay? Because this is just a new way of communicating. It's a fresh new way. So for you guys to work on things, there's going to be a lot of communication between somebody because somebody was not being heard. I heard that. I heard I'm not being heard. Okay. And it's like, I've done all this stuff. I don't know. When we get thrown into a relationship, we don't have a rule book. We don't have a rule book at all. We just like, okay, we're putting two people from two different journeys, two different families, two different lifestyles, two different homes, and we're expecting them to understand each other right out of the freaking chute. Hell no. You've got to work at it and you've got to bring things together. That's why these relationships that start out really fast and get married super fast, they either have to have a good foundation that both their parents have been married for a long time and worked things out and struggled and strifed and went through it, or like my mom was married 5 times. It's not a good example how to stick through the mud. Okay. But the thing is, you have to communicate and you have to be in the same book, let alone the same chapter or same page. And the only way you get that way is to communicate. And if you're not in the same book and the same page, you just find somebody to help you through it. That's why I'm a life coach, because we want to get you on the same page so that you're communicating each other's love languages, because your love language may not be that other person's love language. And if you're, for example, if this person needs touch and you're giving them gifts or you're cooking them dinner, it doesn't mean anything unless you're touching them, because that's their love language. So again, here, communication, hard work. I don't know who that is for, if that's you or them or whatever, but it's not over. It's definitely not over. It's just for the moment. Sometimes we have to go away and figure things out and then come back. Okay. Good for you doing spiritual work daily. Good for you. And your spiritual work, I don't know what that is. However, I'm hoping it's meditation and quiet. Definitely. Okay. Yeah. And it's going to be really hard because it takes both of you guys to be willing to want to do it. You know, it really is. Okay. But I hope that was helpful. Um, I don't know if it was, but that's what they're saying. And also too, it's got to blossom. Right now the rosebud's closed. So even if it's baby step, baby step, baby step, baby step, baby step. And let that work, since you're separated or apart or whatever right now, work on you. Work on what it is that you need, what you want to open up and shine that flower. What is it that brought you guys together? What is it that you want to be right now as a person? So when we're separated, that's the time for healing. That's the time for patience, building that foundation in you. Found in number 4, getting that stillness and quietness about me. Okay. Because that's where it starts with me. Okay. That kind of a thing. So, but I hope this was helpful. I got to run. I am on weekly. This was actually twice this week. So I am on weekly, and I am going to try once June hits, because my schedule is going to be changing and I'm going to be home a lot more. Um, that I will be doing more of your signs, your air, earth, fire, water, those kind of signs. But for right now, I can only do the weekly readings. And if you want a person or one-on-one reading, or just have a question, Etsy has, I think they're $4. They're all different kinds of readings. They are no AI. It is me. So I take a picture of the reading, or take a picture, and I send you an audio, and it's an actual little short reading. And those are like $4 on Etsy. Or you can go to divinewarriorintuitive.com and book a reading for a half an hour or an hour, or just come on and see me and subscribe. Subscribe, hit those notifications, and you'll know when I'm on. And you can ask a question if there's not too many. Good, good. Keep focusing in on you, and thinking in love and light. How can I lift myself up? How can I move forward in a high vibration? And how is that bringing you joy? What can I do? What is my purpose? What is my calling? And keep those vibrations up here and watch the changes happen. I'm excited for you. All right. Take care, guys. We'll see you next week. What is next week? Let's see. What is today? I have Sunday, and then I'm working 5 days. I got so much leather work to do, guys. So it probably won't be until next Friday. All right. But subscribe, hit the notifications all button, and you'll know when I'm on. All right. Take care. Bye bye.